Hey everybody, and welcome to this next slide with Principle 11. Don't sell out of your pocket. So there's a habit we have in human interaction to do something called projecting. Okay, to project, the term comes from psychology and involves when one person assumes that everyone else feels the same way as you do, that they're dealing with the same problems you are and feel the same way about them as you do. If you're mad about it, they should be mad about it. If they're sad about it, you should be sad about it, and vice versa. Do not do this in sales. Okay, the whole point of principle 4 of using open-ended questions is to find out about them. That way you don't project. You know what's important to them. That way you know why they would buy, not why you would buy. And one of the biggest ways that we project is with money. We are really bad at projecting our financial situation onto other people. Okay? So this is where the principle comes of don't sell out of your pocket. Okay? Have you ever sold a product that you couldn't afford to buy? Most people have an issue with that. Okay, we see an amount that wouldn't be willing to spend and assume it's the same for them, that they couldn't spend that money themselves. But what if the person you're talking to is actually a closet millionaire? I had one time when I remember I was selling a product. It was a couple $1,000s, and we were talking about it. He says, "Oh yeah, that's quite a bit of money." I'm like, "Yeah, well that's why most of our people finance with us, because most of the people I talk to don't have a couple $1,000s just in their back pocket that they could put down." His response was, "Well, I do. I've got my American Express Black card that I could just put this on if I wanted to." Bam, I had just made a judgment call on him and his financial situation based on my financial situation and the people that I knew. I made an assumption about him. Do you think I didn't get that sale? Yeah, didn't happen because I assumed he had my issues. I didn't use open-ended questions to find out where he was at. So a lot of times also we assume that money, because I have limited income and couldn't do this, you couldn't, okay? But a few years back, I had an opportunity to be mentored by a very successful businessman, okay? But the cost of being mentored by him was more than I had in my bank account. And I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to do this. And I saw how it could change my life. And for most people, they would have said, well, you didn't have the money, so don't do it. Well, I saw the way this could change things, what this could give me. So I maxed out my credit card, emptied my savings, and borrowed from my family. Now you might ask, why on earth would I be willing to do this? Well, because I saw that the possible benefits outweighed the cost of even doing all of that. Outweighed the cost of having maxed out credit cards, outweighed the cost of not having my savings, and outweighed the cost of having to go ask my family for money. See, that's the thing, is there's a lot of money in the world. Money is everywhere. But we a lot of times narrow it just to what we're comfortable spending. We look at our bank account, we look at what we'd spend for other things, and we say, okay, this is all I have. But that's not how businessmen look at things. They want to do something, they don't have the capital, they find an investor. Do you think that you and your life and your success is something worth investing in? If you do, then really you don't have a barrier of money. It means you could, if you really believed that, you could go find someone who is willing to invest in you, convince them to do so. They would give you the capital. Generally, it's called a small business loan if you do it through a bank, or if you know an individual who could do it, it's called a personal loan. They invest the money in you and you go and do it. But we limit ourselves and we limit our customers because a lot of times they'll tell you, oh, I don't know if I have the money for that. Really? You don't? No, I don't have the money for that. Okay. Well, let's say you wanted to do this. Let's say that you wanted to do this program. You wanted to purchase this thing. What could you think you could do to get together this amount of money? See, when I put it in that hypothetical situation, you'd be surprised how many customers all of a sudden find ways in which they could do the program. And then I just got to talk to them and help build that value as to why they should do it. Empty pockets never held anyone back. Only empty heads and empty hearts can do that. By Norman Vincent Peale. He's the author of The Power of Positive Thinking, and he's so right. So often, we let money hold us back from doing things. Okay? There is money out there. All you have to do is find it. Okay? If you go back to the Bible, a lot of us are Christians or have heard the story of the pearl of great price, where a man finds a pearl of great price and sells all that he has to have that pearl. Well, why would he be willing to do that? Because it's of great price. It really is worth doing all of that for. If people want something bad enough, they will find a way. Never decide it for them if it's worth the sacrifice. I have known of people who have really wanted to do something and have sacrificed far more than I would be willing to in order to have it. So never assume for a moment that you know the value of it to them. You know what price you've put on it. Say, here's how much it is. Then be quiet. Don't say a word. Let them tell you if that's within their price range. And if they say, I don't know, and they're on the fence, then the truth of the matter is they actually can afford it. They're just not sure if they want to. We need to stop allowing money to inhibit our success. And if I'm not willing to let money stop my success, if I recognize that I'm willing to sacrifice to have that, then I'm going to offer that same advice to my clients. Listen, it sounds like this would really benefit you. This could change your life. Do you see how this could change your life? So let me ask you, how could you get that money together? If you really saw how this could change your life, how it could give you all these things that you really want, how do you think you could get that money together so you could have that? Some people just can't do it. They don't have the money. But never assume it. Never assume it. Always assume that your product is worth that sacrifice and let them tell you if they don't have the money. That's why it's not selling out of your pocket. Let them decide whether to buy or not out of their own.